We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led today the oath-taking of his reappointed cabinet members in Malacanang. Newly appointed Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin led the list of ad interim cabinet officials who took their oath before Marcos. Bersamin replaced Attorney Victor Rodriguez, who stepped down from the post over a week ago. Marcos also administered the oath of Finance Secretary Benjamin Diokno, DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan, Trade Secretary Alfredo Pascual, DSWD Secretary Erwin Tulfo, Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, DOST Secretary Renato Solidum Jr., Energy Secretary Rafael Lotilla, Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Ople, National Economic Development Authority Secretary Arsenio Balisacan, and Secretary Jose Rizalino Lavion Acuzar of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. The Department of Budget and Management has approved the release of the additional funding for COVID-19 risk allowance for healthcare workers. The Special Allotment Release Order, or SARO, amounting to 1.04 billion pesos, will cover the unpaid COVID-19 Special Risk Allowance, or SRA, claims of 55,211 health workers. They will be receiving 5,000 pesos each for every month they serve during the period of state of national emergency. The release of funding for COVID-19 SRA is pursuant to Republic Act No. 11494, known as the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act. DBM Secretary Amenah Pangandaman said they will continue to closely coordinate with the DOH to ensure healthcare workers will be receiving the allowances and benefits they deserve. The Department of Social Welfare and Development is prepared to put into action the newly signed Expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act. DSWD Secretary Erwin Tulfo, however, said they need a few days more before implementing rules and regulations becomes fully operational after 15 to 30 days. He said the Expanded Solo Parents Act provides solo parents additional benefits aside from the 1,000 peso financial assistance. These include 20% discount for hospitalization along with their children, 15% discounts for educational supplies, 20% discount on amusements or theme parks, priorities in job applications and housing, and added assistance for single mothers. Tulfo said business establishments should start complying with the mandates entitling solo parents to receive certain discounts once the law becomes operational. The DSWD will also provide further assistance to mothers whose children are abandoned by their respective fathers. Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Toots Ople has urged concerned government agencies to discuss the issues regarding the deployment of healthcare workers abroad. In an interview, Ople said she hopes to meet with officials of the Departments of Health, Labor, and Migrant Workers. She said their agencies need to discuss possible solutions, particularly to issues on the overseas deployment cap. DOH Officer in Charge Maria Rosario Vergere told the Senate yesterday that it was the DOLE that set the 7,000 cap on the deployment of health workers abroad. Vergere said the DOH wants to address the continued migration of healthcare workers, stressing that the Philippines also has vacancies for them. The DOH last week said that the country needed 106,000 nurses as well as doctors, pharmacists, midwives, and other medical professionals. And in our news overseas, Japan condemned today the launch of a ballistic missile from North Korea that was believed to have flown over the country. Early this morning, national broadcaster NHK alerted the public of the activation of the country's missile alert warning system. The alert was raised in two northern regions where the missile was allegedly headed. The missile is believed to have crashed in the Pacific Ocean. In a statement, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kazuhiro condemned North Korea's missile launch and called the recent repeated launches an act of violence. The Japanese Coast Guard, meanwhile, warned sea vessels not to approach any falling objects. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change. Have a good day, everyone.